Hello there everybody, my name is voxeld and thank you for joining me today. Going to be bringing you an engineer commentary. Recently I've been learning some engineer, mostly because I have an unusual and I want to look good with it, but here are the 15 tips that I thought were most useful when learning. Tip number 1 is remember to always build teleporters for your team at the beginning of the round. Tip number 2 is if you see a friendly building that has been sapped and its engineer is dead, do not walk past it and start building your own sentry. Just spend the 3 seconds that it takes to stop the building from being destroyed. Tip number 3 is don't build near other engineers, you're just asking for all your stuff to be wiped out with one Uber. Tip number 4 is if you notice you're killing one player consistently with your sentry, switch the sentry location within 15 to 20 feet to throw them off when they return again to try to take it out. Tip number 5 is try out different wrenches during the game. The stock wrench might be better at the beginning, while the gunslinger is better near the middle or end of the round. Tip number 6 is a lot of engineer is placement. Find the best places to set camp on maps and make your nest. Tip number 7 is the stock pistol can do a decent amount of damage, and especially when picking off scouts or pyros. Tip number 8 is build a dispenser first. It costs less metal than a sentry, and with the Jag, it can be up and running and consequently feeding you metal relatively fast. Tip number 9 is turn your teleporter before placing it so your teammates don't walk into a wall after taking the tele. Tip number 10 is leave your constructions to die. Sometimes trying to save your buildings is not worth it, especially on servers with long respawn times. A living engineer still near the front lines is a godsend. Tip number 11, you can get on top of your buildings by jumping and crouching. If you do this with a sentry, it won't hurt you. Tip number 12 is use the Wrangler. Wrangled sentries can take up to 6 stickies. You can also just blow the stickies away as they're being shot at your sentry gun. Tip number 13 is when the engineer controlling a sentry goes down, so does the sentry for 3 seconds. This makes you the most important target for people assaulting a wrangled sentry. It's defenseless, and they have a 3-second window to spam it the second you go down. This means it is imperative for you to learn to defend your sentry and yourself. Tip number 14, you can plant a rocket at the feet of one of the Ubered people and bounce them into the air to delay them. Once they're in the air, open up with your machine guns. They'll have an immense knockback, and they'll either be stuck in the skybox until the Uber fades or thrown to the other side of the map. Last but not least, tip number 15. If you don't want people to know that you've got a wrangled sentry, you can hide the laser the same way a sniper hides his dot. Put it somewhere where they can't see it, and unleash hell when it's too late for them to back off. Thank you very much for watching. Those are the 15 tips that I thought were most useful for engineer. I hope to see you all in the next one. My name is voxeld, and have a great day.